for everybody, spiritual pursuit is important. Originally, Upanayana was never restricted only to the Brahmins. Everyone used to wear the Yagnopavita. There is a certain set of people in the society, and not everyone can chant the Gayatri mantra. Upanayana was also surprisingly never only for the boys. The true form of Upanayana Puja is not there anymore in the society. They don't show any sort of favoritism to any particular caste or creed or varna. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to this new video where we try to understand the Upanayana Puja. Upanayanam is a very popular puja in Sanatana Dharma, but at the same time, it is misunderstood most of the times. It is not to be blamed on anyone due to various actions that have happened in this country and various political forces, invasions, etc. that we have all gone through. The true form of Upanayana Puja is not there anymore in the society, and we are left with a certain variant of it. In this video, we will explore what the true intention of the Upanayana Puja is, what the Rishis were actually planning, and we will also look at what is the current situation in the society and what is the best way forward. But I'm sure you are able to guess where I'm going with this. The Upanayana Puja was originally designed for each and every person. It was never restricted to one community or a certain set of communities. So firstly, what is Upanayanam? Upa is a word to indicate that you are moving closer to something, like Upavasam. Nayanam means something that can help us see, something that can guide us. So Upanayanam is a ritual where you are moving closer to something that can help you see. See what? See the truth. Learn the real wisdom. And that is only possible through a guru. Upanayanam is a spiritual initiation, a commitment by an individual to prioritize spiritual pursuit. It is a commitment that I will pursue the true purpose of my life, irrespective of what are the skill or activity that I pick up for survival, because that was always viewed as the true education. This is the reason why Upanayanam is also considered as the second birth or the Dvija. Mother gives birth to us, but after Upanayanam, we take a second birth because now we are initiated to spiritual knowledge. That is the level of importance that Sanatana Dharma had put on spiritual pursuit. And Upanayanam marks a very important day in every person's life, because that day you are taking a commitment that I want to know the truth about me, my life, this cosmos. I want to reach the Creator. Karishye, the channel we have created basically to help every one of us understand the deeper meaning behind every action in Sanatana Dharma, how it is so balanced and how it is so connected, and how every action has been created with no bias and no impurity. So we try to break the myths, we try to give the real knowledge, and if you are able to take value from this channel, if you are able to understand and appreciate what we are trying to do here, if you believe that we are adding value, we are serving Sanatana Dharma in the right way, then please subscribe to this channel, please share this video, please like this video, please spread the word as much as possible, because as Sanatanis, our duty is to understand and spread this knowledge by the Rishis to more and more people. From a single biological entity, which the child is, or the person seeking the knowledge is, that person is now transformed and introduced into the Guru-Shishya relationship, introduced into a lifelong commitment of learning and preparing the child's body and mind for spiritual awakening, taking the help of the Gayatri mantra. This is the fundamental construct of the puja. Now, originally, we will look at how Upanayanam was performed in the past, and we will look at the modern context of how it has been transformed over the years due to various reasons in today's society, and let us look at what is the way for us forward. Originally, Upanayanam was never restricted only to the Brahmins. Upanayanam was designed for various varnas. Manusmriti clearly indicates this, and there was no varna that was excluded from Upanayana, because for everybody spiritual pursuit is important. Now, of course, that is not the scenario. So there is a certain set of people in the society who have been focusing more and more to keep their lifestyle in a manner where they can take the mantropadesha from the guru. We are calling those people as Brahmins currently. While these are not spiritual mandates, these restrictions are more of social constructs that have come in for various reasons and for survival over a period of time. So the best way forward right now is we let the Brahmin community take the Gayatri Mantra Upadesha, and provided they have that culture and they have that system running within the family where the environment is conducive for them to do Sandhya Vandana daily, to eat only certain kinds of food, to be able to commit themselves to this kind of a long time learning. But that doesn't mean that the Upanayana is not possible for anyone else, because the concept is the same. Perhaps a mantra obviously can only be given by a guru. It is only possible to induct it in a certain way, and not everyone can chant the Gayatri mantra, because when you are non-initiated, either the mantra doesn't work or it may cause other effects that are not something that we wish for. But there are various other alternatives that we can follow instead of the Gayatri mantra and Sandhya Vandana. For those of us who are not inducted into it, we can simply have a commitment to do a daily puja, and we could add many things like Aditya Hridayam, Vishnu Sahasranamam, Mahamrityunjaya Mantram. These are slokas and stotras that the Rishis have given, where anyone can perform them and they still get the same effect, which is the expansion of the consciousness and the intellect, which the Gayatri Mantra was trying to do in the first place. So by this simple trick or by this simple arrangement, anyone at any time, without needing any initiation or an elaborate puja, can commit themselves to the Upanayana, and they can treat Krishna or Jagat Guru, anyone that they strongly believe in, as the Guru, take the initiation mentally for the stotra, and start to commit themselves to 3 times a day or 2 times a day or maybe 1 time a day during the sunrise, during the sunset, and when the sun is at the midday. These are the auspicious times during which you can perform your own version of Sandhya Vandana. We will try to make a more detailed video on how different people can perform Sandhya Vandana, and we strongly believe that could help. In fact, there are many learned gurus that have already done it, and perhaps we can find a source like that instead of we trying to recreate the wheel again. But the major point here is that Upanayana is never about caste. It was never. Unfortunately, now the connotation has become that Upanayana is only for the Brahmin community. But first of all, the word caste doesn't exist in Sanskrit dictionary. There is a word called Kula, but that indicated what kind of knowledge, what kind of skill set you are pursuing or you want to pursue. That was the division. It was never about birth, because Upanayana itself is talking about Dvija. And if you are reborn, then it doesn't matter whom you were born to in the first place. It is purely about spiritual pursuit, and the Rishis were very clear that spiritual pursuit is for everyone. It was never a case. In fact, everyone used to wear the Yagnopavita. It is all about, are you able to follow the discipline and responsibility to hold that sacred thread and maintain its energy? If you are able to do that, then you are also eligible to take the Yagnopavita. That was the case, but now after hundreds of years, we no longer live in such a society. Otherwise, people think is the norm. Let us try to reconstruct the same thing for our benefit, because end of the day, are we getting spiritual growth or not is the main thing that matters. Upanayanam was also surprisingly never only for the boys. In fact, Vedic education also was open to girls. Again, in today's society, it may seem so unimaginable, but there were clear mentions in the Vedas, and there were women who actually contributed to the Vedas. How you contribute to the Veda, this is not a book that you can imagine and write. You have to, as a Rishi, reach a deep meditative state, listen to the divine cosmos and put it back and contribute back, and that is how the Vedas were formed. And there were several women who reached these kind of spiritual heights, and it was only possible because they also went through Upanayana and they also went through Gurukul education and they learned the Vedas. Now, of course, such a practice has declined, but we should remember that that is not the Shastras. It is more of a cultural connotation. It is more of something that global forces and over a period of time people have forced onto us. Upanayanam is generally performed when the boy or the girl is at around the 8-year mark. This is because after that the hormonal changes start to happen in the body and the mind starts to differentiate between gender, and it is this time is when the initiation into discipline and spiritual learning was induced, because that is how at a young age you get into it, your mind is fresh and you can really make a lot of progress. But that doesn't mean that Upanayanam cannot be done later in life. If you have the discipline, if you have the dedication, and if you are really committed to spiritual rebirth, then it is possible at any point, any stage in life. So if somebody missed it, they can still take it up in adulthood as well. So as we can see, whether it is a boy or a girl, higher spiritual pursuit, committing your life to know its true purpose, irrespective of whatever other activity you have picked up for survival, that is the main purpose of the Upanayana Puja. So it is not restricted to a particular caste or a varna. It is not restricted to a particular gender because the Rishis always believed that spiritual pursuit is for everyone. Always remember this: Sanatana Dharma is a framework meant to free us, but not meant to bind us. The Rishis and Sanatana Dharma never ever show any bias or prejudice. They don't show any sort of favoritism to any particular caste or creed or varna. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha.